All right, welcome. It is July 24th, and I'm calling to order the regular meeting of ALCOSAN's board. Can we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Patrick Katina,
Here.
Mr. Darren Kelly,
Here.
Ms. Teresa Cal Smith,
Here.
Miss Emily Kincaid,
Here.
Miss Sylvia Wilson,
Here.
Mr. Harry Reedshaw,
Here.
Dr. Shanna Sharp Gilliam, present.
We all rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, there was an executive session that was held before this meeting. There were no votes taken at that time. We do not have any public comment. So we're going to move on to the following information items. Regionalization program presentation by Julia Spiker. Spiker.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. As the manager of the regionalization program, I want to provide you with an update on some of the really exciting milestones we've reached and give you an idea of where we're headed over the next year. Regionalization is one of the 4 pillars of our clean water plan. The tunnels, the plan expansion, and grow are all really focused on building these new, exciting, innovative infrastructure for our region. Regionalization is different in that it's focused on the infrastructure that's been serving the region for the past century. It's a combination of the infrastructure in the ground as well as those core relationships with our municipalities. That's what we're focusing on improving and strengthening. We've been doing this for a little while. We were first presented with the concept of regionalization in 2008 in our consent decree that said, make a good faith effort to transfer 200 miles. It didn't say which miles, it didn't say where or how, and it's not a mandate. To be effective and really realize what regionalization means, we convened a group of stakeholders, and we called on our municipal partners, we called on local academic experts to figure out what would be the purpose of the program. They looked at how it could benefit ALCOSAN, how it could benefit the municipalities, how it would result in cleaner water and cost-efficient improvements. ALCOSAN began inspecting the eligible criteria lines. And the committee decided that would be anything that's 10 inches in diameter and larger and conveyed flow from more than one municipality. When you apply that to our service area, we found 265 miles met the criteria. So we could check the box on finding at least 200 to work with our partners on transferring. We immediately did internal inspections of that infrastructure, keeping in mind it ranges in diameter from 10 inches to 84 inches. Some of it's made out of brick, some of it's reinforced concrete. It's been maintained to different standards and designed by different people over 100 years. So let's understand what we're taking on. Simultaneously, we negotiated the terms of the transfer agreement, and every single municipality has the same transfer agreement, same terms and conditions apply. Some 15 years after we first were presented with the concept, we had our first transfer, and that occurred in 2023. In 2024, we continued momentum, transferring more sewers over from the municipalities and entered into this new phase that we're experiencing, which is the operation and maintenance of those lines. And in 2025, we're shifting the focus. We've achieved a critical mass of transfers at this point, and now we need to enter this new phase of the program. That committee identified key benefits for regionalization. It's not a transaction. This is a partnership and a new way for the region to work together. For the human capital side of it, the people side, it's about working deeper in our municipalities. It's about sharing resources and letting them get more of the ALCOSAN customer service that we provide. From a capital perspective, we want to alleviate some of the financial responsibility on these municipalities because we share the same ratepayer. One central regional authority can enact and perform more holistic, comprehensive projects and realize that economy of scale benefit financially. And then finally, this is all we do. So we're able to provide those emergency services and respond to the needs as they pop up in the system. It's a big undertaking for any regional authority. So why ALCOSAN? The Division of Regional Conveyance is focused on everything outside the plant. And we commit ourselves to the operation, maintenance, and improvement of that conveyance system, that backbone to get everything here to the plant, looking at cost-efficient, compliant, and community-centered services. It's all we've ever done. So beginning in the 1950s, we built the system. We continue to operate and maintain it today. It extends across the entire service area, some 300 square miles, and we're out there, whether it's in the roadways or the streets, we're comfortable operating whatever those sewers may be. We're focused on improving water quality, reducing overflows, and then keeping the system strong. And we know how to get it done, regardless of what that may look like. So some of the practices that we've been using for the past 70 years, they're still effective. We're still doing it today. Between 1959 and 2022, this is what the ALCOSAN system looked like. So some 90 miles, a combination of tunnels, shallow pit interceptors, and force mains. In 2023, you start to see those branches going out deeper into our municipal partners, communities, and neighborhoods. We continue to build that momentum in 2024. And in just the first half of 2025, this is what we've been able to add. The lines you're seeing now pop up are the transactions, the transfers that are in process. A critical step of the whole the scheme of this is that we get the permits transferred to ALCOSAN. So these lines are currently with our partners at DEP, and they've been helping work through the process of becoming the new permittee and ultimate the steward of those lines. In total, 57 miles. Remember, we started with 90, so it's about 60% growth for the division. Almost 2,000 manholes along those sewers. There's been 28 regulators where the system's allowed to relieve itself in high flows. Those come with additional CSOs and SSOs. All of this has already transferred. No pump stations yet. We have one where there's an active agreement in the Oakdale pump station. That's been a really rewarding multi-municipal effort. So we expect that once we design and build a new station, that would become an ALCOSAN facility in about 2029. And then we had a really great meeting earlier this week with our partners in Upper St. Clair about transferring that station. So I'm very hopeful that next year we'll have our first facility transferred. And I think this is the most impressive statistic. There's 66 municipalities that own infrastructure that's eligible. 47 have completely signed on. There's many more that are wanting to participate in the program. They're just a little earlier in the process. And with this not being mandated and it's completely based on relationships and cooperation, that's something the whole region should be really, really proud of. That's what we've been doing, understanding the transfer process and getting us to this point. What comes next is really the heart of regionalization. Nothing physically happens with transfer. That's what we see. And we get excited about those miles, but the real work is below the surface, right? Immediately, our operators and maintainers begin doing that work along the trunk lines that have transferred. We respond to any emergency needs as they come up. And then we have to start looking at the baseline of the infrastructure through thoughtful inspections, identifying what the future needs are so that we can make informed decisions about where capital investment is needed. So looking at our 4 goals, I'd like to give you an update on how we're already working towards them. The first, with promoting collaboration, we don't want this to be a transaction. We have more meetings with our municipalities. We want to over communicate at the beginning, make sure we're transferring institutional knowledge from those previous owners to ALCOSAN. We want to make sure that they see this as a gained resource, that we are now a partner for them on their own projects and that we want to work together. We recognize they own the majority of the sewers in their municipality, and we're going to have more touch points with them along the way. So we want to understand their needs on an individual basis. In 2024, we inspected some 30,000, almost 31,000 feet of trunk sewer and cleaned about a little over 11,000 feet. That is at no cost to the municipalities. That's built into the program. It was part of what was considered when the Clean Water Plan was developed. And that's done using our internal management and union workforce. That Oakdale pump station is a 5-party agreement. It's going to result in about $7 million in cost savings. It supports growth. It's going to reduce overflows. That is well underway. And then we're immediately performing all the permit compliance responsibilities. We're already investing back into the infrastructure. We're going to assess those regulators as they come over. Sewer improvements are ongoing in 3 of the different municipalities that have transferred. We're making manhole improvements across the service area. We're doing cleaning as the lines come over and warrant it. And then we are addressing some of those assumed defect obligations as we go along. You see the spread across all of our municipalities. It's not centered in one location. It's really focused on where the needs are. And the next step will be this capital improvement planning. We're just beginning to frame that up. We recognize that it's a need, and so it's one of the areas that we're shifting our focus to. This is all developed into our ALCOSAN care plan for the infrastructure. We're founded in the partnerships. We want to make sure that we get a whole point of connection transferred simultaneously. So we need to make sure all of those municipalities on board. That's with a lot of one-on-one communication, a lot of listening, and then our partners at 3 Rivers Weather are helpful with that too. After transfer, we have our operation and maintenance staff meet with the DPW staff at the municipality, so they have that face-to-face connection. They know who to call, they form those individual relationships, and we transfer that institutional knowledge. We perform our baseline condition assessment the year following transfer, take that data back to start identifying the capital improvement needs. Where there's immediate repairs, we'll make that and then look at a 5 and 10-year horizon, all while keeping in mind these are ours now forever. We're the stewards, so we have to roll them into our full operation and maintenance plan. Looking ahead, the next year, we're going to start shifting our focus from just completing transfers to the post-transfer world. And we recognize it's a fundamental change for Mike Lichtar, Director of Regional Conveyance. We're all working together to adapt to that responsibility. And then we're entering this new phase of regionalization. We'll make sure that our support team with the program manager is tailored to what the demands of the program are. And we're going to start that capital improvement development process. And we fully expect to have 70 miles by the end of 2025, almost doubling what we've always been responsible for. And with that, I'd like to thank you all. Thank the board, not just this board, but the ones that have come before to support the program. It's been extremely rewarding, I think, for the entire region. It went from something that was never going to happen to now really, really true partnership coming out of it. So thank you all for that.
Are there any questions for Ms. Spicer? All right, next we're going to move on to the report of the 2025 operating costs and revenues. Director Fantoni.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This report is a cash basis report as of the end of June. We are 50% of the year completed. We have collected 53% of our budgeted revenue and expended just under 46% of our budgeted expenditures. So if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer those.
Thank you. All right, next we have the 2025 capital budget status report. Director Kennedy.
Thank you. So I'm looking at Exhibit B here, the report. So last month, that dashboard just talked about the plan expansion. This one talks about the entire capital program here. I will point out the Ohio River Tunnel is out on the streets for bid, and that is a higher number, but it was a pretty heavy lift taking that to final design and getting those documents out to bid. And if there were any questions about anything on the report, I'd be happy to take them.
Okay, hearing none. Next, we have the report of actions by the ED in approval of construction change.
Madam Chair, this is for the CSO bypass and disinfection. And as stated, this is to take care of some modifications to the some of the control panel issues associated with the sump and sump panel.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we are going to move into our action items. Can I have someone give a motion to approve the minutes? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Next, we have a motion to consider authorizing payment of invoices in excess of $23,800. This is processed through June 17, from June 17 to July 14 in 2025. And the summary report of expenses in excess of $12,900 during the same period. That's Exhibit D.
Madam Chair, the invoice list is as the board did with their preliminary pack. If you've generated questions from your review about specific invoices, we will respond.
I move for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. All right, next we need a motion to award the following contracts. This is contract number 1808, Upper Sawmill Run and Lower Ohio Interceptor Lining to Instituform Technology LLC at the price of $8,748,708.10. And that includes the base. Am I missing a page?
That includes the base price and the contingency.
Okay. Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so can you tell us a little bit about that?
No, so I don't want you to think you just don't have it. I missed completing that portion of the page.
Okay.
Council are
We have, yes. Is that the original? Yes, the
All right.
posted agenda does continue, which includes the base contract bid of $7,953,371 and a 10% contingency of $795,337.10. The bids received are indicated on Exhibit B.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, this contract, as interesting as it has already become, it's very interesting and complicated. The work requires a lot of coordination and some practices that, again, drive us to this value of in situ form is firm that we are familiar with, we're comfortable with the bid. Would have preferred, of course, to see more than 2 bids, but the low bid is in keeping with the engineer's estimate. Mike, would you like to add anything?
Thank you, Arletta. Madam Chair. Yeah, this is a pretty significant project. There's almost 2.5 miles of cured in place pipelining in the project. Most of it, a lot of it in Sawmill Runs, Lower Ohio Interceptor System, and there's 5 other sites that we've identified that require pipelining. So it's a pretty significant effort. Situform's been around a long time, 50 years. They're the ones that actually invented cured in place lining back in 1975. So we did our due diligence. We reviewed their bid and we recommend award.
Thank you. Are there any questions on that? Can I get a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, next, we are going to look at contract number 1809. This is a site demolition contract number 3 to Independent Enterprises. This is $1,682,312.50. And that's the base contract of 1.529375 and a 10% contingency. That is exhibit F.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is, as indicated, our third site demolition contract. We had excellent participation in terms of bid response. The fee is commensurate with what we would expect. This is an opportunity to dig into site demolition just a bit more. What do we do in one? What do we do in two? Why are we doing three? We focus a lot on bringing you information about what we're doing, moving projects and programs forward, like the excellent presentation you just received from Julia. This gets to how we've torn some stuff up so that we can make things better. And Director Kennedy is just chafing at the bit to be able to bring it all to life.
Okay, thank you. So as Arletta said, site demo 3, it's not the most explicit title for a contract, so it seemed an appropriate time to provide some explanation and also sort of forecast another prep contract that we're going to put out in August. So, you know, I've shown this slide many, many times, but site demo 1 was over here at 14 and 41. Site demo 2 was at our access shaft, and site demo 3 is going to be up in the McKees Rocks area. And so it made sense to sort of do the work spatially where the near surface facilities are going to be. Why are we doing these? Why not just do it as part of the ORT? It really does save time in getting these sites further advanced and ready for the near surface facilities that are part of the Ohio River Tunnel. It does reduce risk. There are city permitting requirements that take a long time. Let's get this stuff out of the way so that it's not delaying the tunnel contractor when they're on board. And then it does save costs. These are smaller general contractors with very specific skill sets for demo and sewer lining, things of that nature. So it's an opportunity to keep the work locally and save costs by working directly with the smaller firms.
Mm-hmm.
So site demo 1 was on either side of the West End Bridge. So I'm at our side right now, which is what we call 41. So this was the Cardello Electric Building. This is 100% complete. This was done a couple years ago. You can see these photos. That photo on the right, the final photo was taken in March of 2024. So that building has been down for a year. It's fenced in and it's just waiting for the tunneling contractor to get on board. And then why? Why did we have to buy that? Why did we have to take that business down? This is what's proposed. So right in the middle of that former building is the drop shaft. We've got a regulator. We've got a consolidation sewer going down Belmont Street. That's going to be a very busy site and no space for any existing buildings. Also on the first site demo was the other side of the bridge. This was the Battaglia Auto Sales. So up right on West Carson Street, they had a small used car lot. Before and after, again, this was from February of 24. And then at the lower lot was the garage. Why? Why did we, have to use this property? This is what we call 014. Another drop shaft, a very, very large regulator structure, long, narrow site that we need every inch that we can get over there to perform the work as part of the Ohio River Tunnel. Now I'm moving on to the second site demo. This is more recent. This was this year. This is over at our access shaft. So we had to take down 3 buildings over at AS1. This first one was an Airbnb sitting all by itself on our site. So that one is done. And then there was a side building to the building that remains, the one that says Robinson, that is staying. But we had to get rid of the side building and that associated garage with it. And then there was a building that used to be a diner. And so all 3 of those buildings are down. Site is really getting ready for when we are mobilizing a contractor next year. There just some final restoration, and then we're doing some sewer lining, and that's to get rid of all the taps rather than individually capping each tap. We're just lining those sewers, and that meets the criteria for capping those lines. And then why, right? So you've seen this 1,000 times, but this is where we're gonna launch the Ohio River Tunnel. So that's a 70-foot diameter access shaft where we're gonna drop the tunnel boring machine. Every single, this is about a 4.5 acre site, and we're gonna need every single bit of it. So 1809 on your agenda tonight, site demo 3. This is over in the neighborhood of the McKees Rocks Bottoms. These are the homes, residences that we bought a couple years ago, and now we need to get those ready for the near surface facility project that we're going to be doing over in this neighborhood. So this is why. This is Ellis Street. The regulator will sort of pop out into Ellis Street, and then the drop shaft will be right where that garage to that one building was. And then the connection, the Chartiers Creek at it, will go right down Shingus. So the scope of work and the contract that's for your consideration tonight is taking down those houses. They've been vacant for at least 1.5 years. So it's just kind of time for that neighborhood to not have to look at a bunch of boarded up houses. So we're anxious to get this one started and completed. And there is also some sewer lining associated with this for the same reason, just to terminate the taps. And then there's just one more. We plan to advertise this project in August. This is a site station prep. So we've also done a ton of coordination with Duquesne Light, trying to get pads down so that they can bring their equipment. In fact, in the 027, it's equipment that we've pre-purchased. One way or another, it's appropriate to break it out and get this work done early to save time, cost, and reduce risk to the authority. So you'll see the recommendation of award for 1821 on a future board meeting.
Thank you. Are there any questions on our presentation? All right, can I get a motion, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have contract number 1825, furnish and deliver chemicals and technical service for treatment of boiler, water, steam, and condensate. This is to Rochester Midland Corporation at the price indicated on Exhibit G.
Madam Chair, if you'll note at the bottom left-hand corner of the exhibit that Rochester Midland received this award in 2019. So it is obviously a company that we have experience with. Treatment of boiler water is important to the overall process. Quite a bit of work goes into keeping things up to snuff. This contract provides for that.
The reason that ALCOSAN's bid came in so tremendously higher.
They don't know as much as Rochester.
They don't know as much. Good answer, good answer. All right.
Okay, are there any questions on this one? All right, hearing
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. So next we have, a set of motions, to authorize the preparation of specifications and advertisement for bids. And these are, for the following contracts in Exhibit H. So do I need to read all of the numbers?
You can read all the numbers, but you can do it all together. You don't have to do it
Okay.
individually unless there are questions on each.
All right, so contract number 1820, 1829, 1830, 1831, 1832, 1833, 1834, and 1835. Matt, is here a little something about those?
Certainly. 1829, yes, just as stated, emergency sewer contract for next year. This is an annual contract. You will be receiving a presentation on what has been accomplished under previous emergency contracts and what we hope to be able to prepare for. As indicated, this is intended to be able to take care of those things that require almost immediate mobilization that is above and beyond the capacity of our in-house forces. That's the first. The second, 1830, we've got 2 access shafts and a manhole. 2 access shafts, just as stated, for access to the system. The manhole is going to be, excuse me, installed on one of the new pieces that we have. The third one, 1831, Allegheny River Tunnel near surface facilities. This is in line with our tunnel projects. You have to have, we refer to them as near surface facilities. Think of it as stuff people will see, okay, and have to deal with. Fourth, 1832, West Head Works restroom upgrades. That's what it says. We need to create new restroom facilities. I think the reference is new facilities. They're not going to be sharing a restroom. 1833, furnishing and delivering Teflon tubing for industrial waste sampling. We use so much tubing sampling that it exceeds the threshold that we can purchase just on basic purchase order. I do believe it was board member Gray Jones that used to have a fascination with this tubing. Is that every time this contract came up, but he has moved on to bigger and better things. Not that there's anything really bigger and better than being on the ALCOSAN board. However, back to 1834 elevator maintenance. We have multiple elevators that require maintenance throughout the year. 1835, our incinerators require sand to build the bed for the purposes of being fluidized, and some operators like to fluff the bed, right, Douglas? And we need to have sand for them to fluff the bed. Yes, it is a necessary commodity. That is it. Any questions?
Yes, we had one question here. You're good.
I just want to make sure it wasn't happening now, the presentation.
Oh, he was asking, when is the presentation for the emergency sewer contract 2026?
So you cannot be here?
I'm going to get here early.
Patients are the highlight of my mouth.
It brings it alive.
Yeah.
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, E, we have a motion to approve the following change orders that exceed 30,000 in value or whose cumulative total value with previously approved change orders is greater than 5% of the original contract amount. These are found in Exhibit I. The first one is number 2, contract 1723H.
Madam Chair, this is on the HVAC side of the North End plant expansion, which is coming to a close. It is hard to believe 5 years has gone by so quickly. I think this change is indicative of where we are just closing up things. I believe we had to go from a 2-hour fire rated damper to a 3-hour fire rated damper. When you get down to that point, you've got to be pretty close to the finale. Fairly minor. East Head Works, not so close to the finishing. Let's say pump modifications, some gas meters, and various piping modifications. And if you don't think you're going to like the emergency sewer contract presentation, you probably don't want to participate in the tour of the East Head Works. So we'll keep you posted on that as well. Root canal or something.
I don't know. I really enjoyed my tour of the boat ride. It was very nice. And informative. So, did. Okay, so, can I get a motion for number two?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, and then, for number 15. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries as well. All right, so next we have the motion to approve modification for service authorization 264 for 9 rooftops to continue supporting both strategic communications and public relations for an amount not to exceed $1.869502 million.
Madam Chair, I would point out that items F, G, and H went before the Professional Services Committee at a public meeting and were moved forward with a unanimous opinion that they should be voted on in the affirmative by the board for 9 rooftops, which long ago far away had been Mark USA, has provided strategic communications support, not just to our public relations group, which we now refer to as communications, but our government affairs staff as well. And that has been since 2012, 2013. As we discussed in the professional services meeting, from the billboards that have dotted the landscape just to the visible, I would say, more highly visible presence we have had in the community. They've done a good job, and we are pleased to have the support. How many people have seen the "We're All In" billboards this season?
Yeah.
How many people think they want a contract?
Motion to approve the modification.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motions carry. I was doing F, G, and H.
No.
Just
No, just one.
That was just it.
Just one. All right. So the motion for the 9 rooftops has passed. Yes. So let me get a motion for, this is for AECOM for additional work associated with the scope of services as regionalization program manager. And this is for an amount not to exceed $1,300,977.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Next, we have a motion to approve modification of service authorization 390 for GHD for additional work associated with the CIPP rehabilitation of the Upper Sawmill Run and Lower Ohio interceptors. This is for an amount not to exceed $99,885. Did I get a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, so next, we have request for a motion to authorize the executive director to execute the utility line relocation agreement with Verizon Communications Incorporated. This is providing for the deposit of $45,817.25. Tell us about that.
Madam Chair, as we have discussed over the last year or so, as we progress with implementation of the Clean Water Plan and Program for consent decree compliance, it places us in closer proximity to more and more neighbors, more sister agencies, service providers, as we move into the actual construction portion of tunnel programming. You're going to see more and more of these needing to accommodate those agencies and entities that are already out there and to be a good partner. This takes care of that with Verizon. You're going to see something similar with the next one with the Port Authority for the cast in place rehab of what you just awarded.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, and the next one, you've also just given us a brief,
Motion to
overview.
approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, K is the motion to authorize the executive director to enter into a developer's agreement with the Borough of McKees Rocks for the Ohio River Tunnel Near Surface Facilities Final Land Development Plan.
Madam Chair, similarly to working with other agencies, utilities, working with our municipal customers. You just saw Kim make reference to what is going, I'm sorry, Director Kennedy, make reference to what is going to take place in McKees Rocks. It's a tight area in that neighborhood for what we're talking about. The borough, which we have an excellent relationship with today. The borough requires we enter a developer's agreement with them that will cover a multitude of things.
Okay, sounds good.
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're satisfied with that. And they're good with everything. Is it-
It's their
Okay,
agreement.
this is their agreement. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second, thank you. All in favor? Oh,
Yeah.
no,
Aye. No, I was supposed to say I'm gonna abstain.
oh, okay, you're abstaining, okay. Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next we have
Just make sure you say one abstention
one abstention, thank you,
for the record.
for the record, we have it, we're good. Okay. I knew
She's on it.
I knew she was paying attention.
All
All right, motion to authorize the payment to Condemnity Vapor Packaging Corporation of $354,842 for partial personal property loss and $34,157.20 for personal property move costs. And you've talked to us extensively about this, but you want to say anything else?
Well, Madam Chair, I would hope that Kim's presentation has simply reminded you as we bring these property issues to you each month and have for a few years now. There's a reason, there's a lot of work that goes into it. We have excellent property specialists that advise and support us. However, Kim and her folks do an amazing job keeping track of all this, making sure it fits the need. And this is just another one of those that you will typically hear me make reference to. This is in support of our clean water plan and programming. What you saw is what it's all about. We have no desire to just go take property.
Thank you. Okay, if there's
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Next, we have a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-0701. This is authorizing the condemnation or the purchase in lieu thereof of permanent subterranean real estate interest in portions of 3 parcels now or formerly owned by Norfolk Southern Railway Company.
Madam Chair, members of the board, even the railroad owns property that would be well suited to support the needs of the clean water program. All 3 of these. I have nothing further to say about the next 2. I'm not suggesting you take them all together.
Right, no. Can I get a motion for the first?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. The next is the motion to adopt resolution number 2025-0702. Similarly authorizing the condemnation or purchase in lieu thereof of permanent subterranean real estate interest in the portion of a parcel now formerly owned by CSX Transportation, Inc. And you've spoken a bit about that. Do you have anything else to add? No?
Quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
Genesee, I remember Genesee, Wyoming being mentioned at one point. For one of the work, is that?
That's number 3. They are the operator of the Pittsburgh and Ohio.
So, okay, that's why I was confused. Okay, thank you.
Makes sense. All right, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. And next we have, the motion to adopt resolution 2025-0703, authorizing the condemnation or the purchase in lieu thereof of permanent subterranean real estate interest in the portion of the parcel now formerly owned by the Pittsburgh and Ohio Central Railroad Company.
So
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion passes. And then finally, this is the motion to authorize second option to extend the lease with Keller Family Real Estate Trust. This is from August 1, 26 through July 31, 2029.
Chair. Supports clean water program implementation.
What is that? I mean, I know it's what, can you a little bit more of an explanation? Legal, okay, all right. So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, that being said, is there any new business?
New business. That could be disingenuous. Or it could be. Open. So, but always looking for folks to volunteer. Always appreciate board members' participation. Lisa Jorf from Communications is going to give you the rundown. There will be a quiz.
Hey, thank you. Let's hear, I know it's late in the day. I know you've got a lot of contract numbers, but can I get an OHD from everyone? Run, 1, 2, 3. OHD. Is that good? Anyone who wants a contract in the future? Anyway, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members of the board and everyone else in attendance. Open House 2025. It is almost here, as Arletta said, coming quickly. So we have a lot, as Arletta showed, our newly redesigned Save the Date card. Follow the front flush. If you look closely, what is Frankie in? He is actually in a toilet.
He is.
I'm proud of it saying, follow the flush and fish at ALCOSAN's open house. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fingers crossed, more shine than rain. And you can always find out more information and event updates on our website. So behind the scenes, you may not realize it, but lots of stuff is going on. For instance, this is our, who knows what this is at open house? This is our, like our Epcot hall. It is our event information booth. Everyone, where are the tours? I lost a fingernail, whatever. everyone, if you don't know where to go, so we have awesome people there in place that can answer all of your questions or find out for you. We also find out Arletta there, checking things out, see what's going on, but it's a great place to be. And it's when that gets pulled out, we know open house is on the way. It's kind of our unofficial symbol. So I have a quick little, someone here is already getting ready. Let me see. Labor's helping do that for us. So thank you, Frankie. Frankie is getting ready. So that means things are happening when we see him coming around, wiping things down. So open house overview. It is held for 20+ years. It takes place here at the plant. And last year we got close to 1,500 visitors. We're hoping that we're on our way up every year back now that we're gaining more space and since COVID and all that kind of stuff. So we're getting back up there every year we're gaining. So we're very excited about that. It's been held for 20+ years. This is our 23rd consecutive years, but there were a few back in the 90s and prior to the annual every year happening. So fun for all ages. It is definitely a team effort. Not only Frankie, all of our divisions, our unions, external vendors. It is a team effort for sure. The laborers you saw helping us with that little Frankie getting everything ready. So it is definitely a team effort, ALCOSAN family effort, and there is something for everyone to do, all ages.
You always have to slip that snake in.
I do. We're gonna. We always try to find out where you park each year and get you love that snake. So it's a few more things saying fun for all ages. You can get wet, you can build stuff, you can do all kinds of things here. So it's great. We also we're gaining space this year thanks to engineering. We're always reaching out to them. How many more roads can you give us? Can this be paved safely? What can we do? So we were able to gain the first set of contact tanks, the top of those, those this year. So we do have more space. So there are going to be more exhibitors this year, which we're excited about to be growing. Clean water zone. Who's been to the clean water zone? It is quite the sight. The 4 pillars of the clean water plan are there, along with the plumbers, the future plumbers, where your kids can have fun getting soaked while you're learning about what we're doing out there, all the important stuff, the 4 pillars. And we also, as you saw on a previous slide, a few years ago, we introduced Frankie Science on the Go van, the brainchild of the Scholastic Outreach Division. And he is out and on the go now these past few years, and he will once again be at open house. So you can check out Frankie's Science on the Go. And yes, we feed everyone. We have moved back again outside with lunch like we used to do, but we feed everyone. Gasanyayas, we have popcorn, we have cotton candy. Come hungry. And we will feed you. It's part of us appreciating that you spend the day coming out here to see us and all the important stuff and fun stuff we do. Plant tours. Who's been on the plant tour? There. That is impressive. Yes, the plant tours. Doug, I got you in there twice.
Oh, and I want to thank you, Director Jackson, for wearing the Frankie costume. That was really good.
That's right. I always got to make Doug Jackson get the election.
Move on.
Oh, look. Next year, 3. Anyway, plan tours, very popular to say the least. We fit everyone in that wants a tour. The tour guides are great. Doug's great at making sure we get to as many areas as possible. And it's just a great part of the day. We also, I'm not going to steal anyone's thunder, but part of the plan tour, I believe,
will be in January of this year. Our iconic outfall is no longer in service due to the planned expansion and being able to handle more daily intake as far as the clean water plan. We had a big deal. It was a great day in January of this year. It was awesome. We didn't plan the snow, but it just made it even more intense and very obvious and such a big moment that you can really see. So there's the old outfall, and then at the north end, which some of you on a tour last year would have seen the north end, but it is actually, the outfall is in service as of January this year. It's awesome and quite a sight to see. So I'm thinking maybe you might be seeing that in the plant tour this year. You also didn't get a Michelle Weiss picture though, but we will also be seeing, we'll make sure we get one of those, a lab tour. Last year, you were able to get into the lab, a sneak peek of it, some equipment had arrived, but it is now, the whole building, our environmental compliance facility is fully functioning, operational, all the floors, everything's going on thanks to our great engineering department and environmental compliance and everyone else who was involved in making this happen. So this year you will get a lab tour with everything going on in the lab. You may be asking, how? Oh my Lord, how do I get in on this fun? we hope you're asking that, and we know you're asking that. So as of today, actually about 2 p.m. today, wanted to make sure it was up and running. You can pre-register at ALCOSAN.org. So you go to our upcoming events, you will see this screen. You don't need to pre-register to come to open house, but it's just a way of saving a little step when you get here. You would still need to come to registration, but you would register for the event. And then you can also register for a tour, pre-register for a tour. We have all the times. We have about 10 spots for each tour online. We like to keep in-person spots available as well. Do not tell your friends. Tell your friends if, hey, it says it's full, it's full. We have wording on there that says, please still come. Do not let that discourage you. We will do our best. We will make sure you are able to get a tour, even if Arletta has us stay here till midnight. Whatever it takes. So yeah, you will be able to take a tour. So does anyone have any questions about this so far? Just one more. We good? Okay. So yes, please get online as of today. Register for a tour. And if you are interested in being a consultant volunteer, so we have a list that we send out to. It comes from myself and Carbon's most of all of the people that you usually deal with for when you try to help out with us, and we appreciate it very much, especially with us growing again, having more exhibits. It's great to have as much help as possible, so we appreciate you very, very much. You can contact myself or Taylor Walker, both of us, and then also conveniently out in the lobby we have on your way, we have a sign-up sheet, so you can also sign up to be a consultant, help with open house. And any questions on that, consultants or anything? We good? And last but not least, thank you from our ALCOSAN family. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for coming to open house. Spread the word. We have plenty of save the date cards out in the lobby, so that if take them to your kids' camps or whatever you do in your life. So please appreciate it. Oh wait, who do we have here? Save the date card. You Frank.
Love dance.
Thank you everyone, and thank you Frankie for being here supporting our open house. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frankie. And with that, we will be meeting again on September 25th. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, board.